After a really stinking weekend with our loss to Arsenal, I can bring you some good news about a contract that is set to be extended. Welcome to your Forest News. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest News. Coming up in today's video, I'll talk you through the latest updates on Ola Aina and his contract negotiations. We'll talk about Jota Silva, as there's been a few comments coming out from him about the manager, and plenty of other things to get into. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new, and don't forget there's more exclusive content. If you want some more Forest news and everything else and my thoughts, go check it out on Patreon. Thank you to our Patreonees who are supporting us there. Go check it out, scan the QR code or click on the link in the bottom. And if you want more YouTube content, don't forget our second channel, the Footy Network. We've got my top 5 goals of the weekend, and I want to know if you guys agree with it or not. I'll leave the link for that video on the end screen and in the comments down below. All right, let's jump into this and talk about Ola Aina, my favorite player currently, not just for what he does on the pitch, but what he does off it as well. He's just a good guy, man, a good guy, one that I'd love to spend some time with and chill and what have you. But his performances on the pitch, I think, have been fantastic all season, ever since really he got fit from coming back from AFCON last season. I thought he's been fantastic. Now, just to clarify, he is out of contract at the end of this summer. And if we get to January and Forest haven't agreed a contract, or he hasn't signed the contract, then he is free to speak to whichever club and whomever club he decides. This is why it's really important that Forest get this tied down in the next couple of weeks before January. Because although the feeling is that Aina is more than happy at Forest, enjoying his time there and everything, there are other clubs that are interested in him. There was links from him leaving Forest in the summer because of interest from other clubs. Now, I'm not saying he wanted to, I'm just saying there was links, you get what I'm saying? So, the news at the moment, and let me read you some quotes here. Forest are in advanced discussions with defender Ola Aina over a contract extension. 28-year-old is expected to secure a significant pay rise as part of the prospective deal, which will reflect the impact the Nigerian international has had since joining the club in 2023. As we all know, he signed as a free agent and the contract is set to expire. There were concerns that the fullback would find himself open to negotiations with overseas clubs in January, with his current deal set to expire next summer. But the London-born player began his career in Chelsea, blah, blah, blah. Several weeks of negotiations are now close to a positive conclusion. Now, just to clarify a few things on this, it won't be Ola Aina sitting down with Marinakis and thrashing out some numbers and what have you. This will be between the club and his agent. His agent will know what Aina wants, and that will be secured. I think the thing for me on this one is this is the second time we've done this with Aina. We've done it obviously when we signed him up, and we did it again a year or so ago because he was only on a 1-year deal. Now, what I want to do is tie him down properly. I would expect Forest to offer at least a 3-year deal plus 1. So 3 years, and then Forest get the option to extend it by 1 if they do so. I think he needs a pay rise bump, which it sounds like he's going to get. And I think now that we're seeing him in his favoured position at right back, we're seeing the best of him. Although I thought we were crap against Arsenal, I thought his performance was not too bad to a set degree. I mean, I thought he was our biggest attacking threat down that right-hand side. And defensively, if you look at him all season, he's been absolutely fantastic. So I am so for this happening, and this needs to happen straight away. And the other one that needs to get tied down is Chris Wood. That still hasn't been sorted out. There are still a lot of rumours flying around about the length of his contract. It feels like both parties are in agreement that they want to stay, that they want to continue in that partnership. But I think the length of the contract is the thing that's delaying it or up for negotiation on that. There's been rumours of 5-year deals. There's been rumours of 3-year deals. I've got no intel on this one. so can't give you too much information, but as soon as we hear anything on the Chris Wood one, we will let you know. But good news following that drubbing by Arsenal is I think Ola Aina will be secured very, very soon for Forest, and that has helped my mood slightly. Let's move on and talk about Jota. All right, so on Jota, Nuno praised him quite heavily post the Arsenal match. And he had an interview with the Danger Zone, whatever they're called, over in Portugal, where they asked him about his thoughts on what Nuno had said. And honestly, I was quite impressed with the comments that came out from him. Let me read you some quotes. He says, "It's good to hear the coach's words, but there's no vanity. I will continue to do my best as I have been doing so that when I'm called upon, I will make my contribution in the minutes I have the opportunity." He says, "I can't make personal assessments. I just like to look at the collective, and I think we're making a fantastic start to the championship. We have an incredible squad, and that makes me feel really good here in England. That's what I wanted. It's been great working with Nuno," he says. "Having a Portuguese coach in my first season outside of Portugal is always great to help me integrate. It's been fantastic." I like him more after hearing that. I really do. Because you've seen the whole Leicester stuff right now, where I'm not gonna lie, I found it quite funny. They went to Copenhagen to celebrate the sacking of Cooper, with signs saying "Enzo, I miss you" and what have you about their previous manager. And joking aside, that's not really befitting of footballers. It's quite pathetic, really. It would be embarrassing if it was happening at Forest, but because it's not, I can look at it and laugh. Whereas here you're seeing a player, let's just look at the difference here. You're seeing a player who clearly knows he's better than Elanga, who clearly knows he's not getting the minutes that he should, and isn't kicking or screaming or putting up a sign saying, "I love my previous manager." He's praising and thanking the manager for his comments. And then he's saying, he's more concerned about the collective of the team rather than the individual as in himself. And I just think that shows the character of the guy. And, it's important, not just what they can do on the pitch, but what they're thinking in their head. Football's 90% in the mind, as the old cliche goes. But with all that said, he has to start. If he doesn't start against Ipswich and then Elanga still makes it on the pitch, then I am going to start to have a couple of questions that need to be addressed towards Nuno. Because Elanga is so far out of form right now, it's ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying Jota is the second coming, that he's going to be, the next Grealish, as everyone keeps saying. But I think that it is time now for a change in plan. A couple of things need to change. We'll pick them up as we get towards the Ipswich match. But number one for me is this change in bringing Jota into the fold on the right-hand side instead of Elanga. But I was really impressed to hear his attitude towards the whole thing. And he's not throwing any toys out the pram or anything like that. And I actually think it won't just be myself who's more endeared to him, but I think you guys will be as well. So let me know your thoughts on it. Maybe some of you think, well, he's lacking ambition. Is he just content to stay on the bench? It could be. Let me know which way you think on that. And that brings you up to date with your Forest news. Go check out my top 5 goals of the weekend over on the Footy Network. I'll leave it there for you on the end screen. And a quick reminder, if you haven't already hit the like button, please do so. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new here. And we'll see you on tomorrow's video. Check out Grumpy Old Reds if you didn't as well. That will be on the end screen. Come on, you Reds.